strength workshop. So far we've had, of course after day 1, which is the intro day, we've had our first workout on day 2. Yesterday we had our new sort of habit stack, doing stuff while we're waiting for sort of things to happen, like the kettle boiling or stuff like that. And so adding like an additional thing onto current habits that we've currently got that will serve us, and we can use the sort of pre-existing habit to help sort of push us through, to help carry through a new habit. Today, day 4, we're looking at, we're going to be going through another workout just like we did in day 2. So I'll go through it just quickly, just to give the general gist, and then I recommend printing off or downloading or using the PDF attached, and following that step by step. And of course, just like the first workout, each of these exercises included has a demonstration video, just to show you if you want a little bit of a refresher, or if there's a new one and you're not too sure how to do it. So starting off with our warm-up, 2 to 3 rounds. Starting off, we've got J curls. So it might be a new exercise for you. It's a brilliant one for warming up the back. So you start with your feet about hip width apart, slight bend in the knees, and then we're rounding the back, tucking the chin into the chest, and you're going down like so, curving that back, and then finishing with a big chest and straight back, and then going back down. Now maybe if you don't feel so steady on your feet that you don't go down the full way, you only go as low as you feel comfortable, perhaps just a little bit of the way, and then back up and gradually build. Also, it might be an idea if also you think you need it to be next to something like a bed or a sofa, so that if you do go down and go too far, you've got something to help you get back up, or stop you from falling on the ground and maybe hurting yourselves. After the J curls, which is 6 of those, we've got 10 squats. So if I'm not using a chair to squat down onto, I'll be doing them like this. I like to have my hands out in front because it helps keep my chest up, going down nice and low. If you can, doing what you can though, it may be that you only go to about there, or if you're feeling a bit stiff, you can ease yourself, gradually going lower and lower. Of course, I've got the chair for the chair sits as well, if need be, so just sitting down onto the chair, going back up. After the chair sits, we've got, or squats, we've got step ups. So if we do have one of the little plastic stepper things, using that and maybe holding on to the back of a chair if you need it, or using the bottom step of your staircase and holding onto the banister for support as well. So 15 with each leg leading, so you might want to start with the right leg, and my right leg will be the leg to go up first, and the leg to go down first. So you do 15 of those on each leg, break them up if you need to. Then after that, we've got the iron chair, which is one that we did on day 2, where you put your back up against the wall and then you hold that position, getting ideally the position that we'd be working towards is knee in line with hip and ankle underneath knee. Of course, you can do a squat hold as well if you don't have a wall to use or you prefer not to. And of course, you can do the hover over the chair as well, so that if you do get tired and you're not too sure if you'll be able to stand back up, you can just sit down and have a rest. So for the iron chair, between 30 to 60 seconds on that. If you say you're going to get to 15 seconds and you sort of stop but you want a bit more, go for another set within that round. So you don't have to go through all of it again to then come back to it. If you want to do a bit extra time, absolutely fine. So 2 to 3 rounds of the warm-up, then we're on to A1 and A2. A1 is alternating lunges. So the most difficult version of it would be starting like this, taking a step forward and going down, and then changing legs. The timing for the most difficult version is 2 seconds on the way down. Slightly easier version, which avoids having to do a step each time, is the split squat. So you start in position, and I'll do all my reps with my feet planted. And then once I've done all of them, back to the middle, and then other leg. And of course you can rest in between as well, each side, so you don't need to go straight ahead with those. For the reps, it's 14 to 20 reps in total of the lunges, or if you choose the split squats. Of course we can use a chair as well for a bit of balance support. So I can have my hand there, and I've got something to hold on to if I need it. Also, if you want to try with the split squat, but you can't get your knee to the floor, no problem at all. Just go as low as you can, keeping that hand there. If having your feet apart and trying to lower that knee even a little bit is really tough, which it may be, we'll just stick to standard squats. So, same as in the warm up. A bit of timing, down over 2, hold for 1, and then we can also move to the chair as well. The second exercise in that set is the hip flexor. So always holding on to chair or hand against the wall. If I'm holding on to something on my right side, I like to move the leg that's closest to it. Like that. So we're going for 10 to 12 on each leg. And if you want to follow a timing, it's up over 3, hold for a second, down over 3. But if they feel difficult enough without the timing, then just focus on the quality of the rep. I would say it's better to do even 5 really good reps, trying to keep your body nice and still, than forcing 10 reps, doing the timing, but stuff's going all over the place, and there's not much control. So we'll go for quality over quantity with all of the things that we do. So with those, it's 3 sets. If you finish the second set and you're starting to feel quite tired, but you want to try and get through the rest of the workout, stop at 2 sets, absolutely fine. Maybe make a note of that in the comments of the group, and then we can move on to B1 and B2. But if you want to go for that 3rd set, then go for it. So it's only 5 seconds rest in between each exercise as well. That's just sort of a recommendation. You can rest longer, and also you don't need to rest as long as if you don't feel it's necessary. Next we've got for B1, it's good mornings. Nice exercise, almost like a stretch, really works the hamstrings. So I have my feet shoulder width apart, a slight bend in the knees. You can either cross your hands on your chest, or you can have them up like that. Or sometimes this exercise is done with a bar on the back, so you can pretend I've got a bar on your back, or you could even get a broom on your back. Just of course, if you're holding something on your back, it will be more difficult to free your hands to help if you need to sort of catch yourself. Slight bend in the knees, and then once you're here, I'll cross my hands. I'm trying to hinge forward at the hips, but I'm trying to avoid increasing the bend in my knees. So the aim is to feel a stretch going down the hamstrings, probably feel a stretch in the lower back as well, and going back up. If you find that you're getting really low, and I'm still not feeling the stretch, as you see, I'm starting to bend my knees, so I don't have that tension on knee hamstrings anymore. So I've just got to keep those knees a bit straighter. Also, you want to avoid locking out the knees, so have a bit of bend in them, but not much. After that, a similar exercise, B2, is the reps on those, 10 to 12 good mornings. And the timing, if we were following it, down over 3, 1, 2, 3, and then hold for 3, 2, 3, and then up over 3, 1, 2, 3. Then 2-second pause at the top. I realised that I got the timing a little bit mixed up, so I'll just go through again. So 10 to 12 reps. I'm going to go down over 3, 1, 2, 3, hold for 2, 1, 2, up over 3, 1, 2, 3, 2-second rest at the top. Then I go again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Lovely. B2, we've got a split squat hover, so 30 to 60 seconds on each side. Again, if 10 seconds is all you can do, go for the 10 seconds, absolutely fine. We'll have a chair next to us, just for a bit of support. Getting into our split squat position. Now it's up to you from here how low you go to hold the pause. You may only want to go to there, absolutely fine, you'll still work the muscles, or you may want to try and push down a bit lower. Got the hand there, you can choose where you hold on the chair as well, wherever you're getting the most support. And once you're in position, if you've got a clock in front of you to watch, or you can count in your head, or use a timer on your phone or Alexa, just holding that for the desired time. Try and make it the same on each leg. Try not to do 40 on your right leg and 20 on your left. You're better to do 20 on both than doing more on the other. Because if you are getting a bigger amount of time on one leg, it generally means that the other leg is stronger, and so you don't want to keep making it work harder and harder, because then you'll always have that gap. If anything, you would want to work the stronger leg less, the weaker leg more, to sort of bring them up to a similar strength. If we don't want to do the split squat, however, if balance is a bit tricky, or just want to try something a bit easier, then we can go for a squat hold, squat or hover, similar to one of the options in the warm-up. So just holding that there. If you don't want to go for the split squat, but the squat hold isn't quite cutting it, you can put in a bit of motion. So I call it a squat pulse. So the squat pulse, it's just small movement up and down. I'm not fully extending, because when you fully extend, you relax the muscles. So you're just going up and down, like so, really pumping the legs, and they'll start to get nice and warm quite quickly. Brilliant. So same for the sets of the Bs, 2 to 3 sets. If you're feeling really tired at the end of the second set, maybe it's an idea to not do the third set and save a bit of energy for part C. But then again, if you're feeling up for it, go for that third set. Also, say if you're just feeling completely knackered, and done, don't force yourself to do part C. You can maybe come back to it later on, or do it tomorrow. Tomorrow won't be a full workout, it will be another tip and trick day. So I think you're better off sort of stopping, listening to your gut rather than trying to force it out. So anyway, part C, we've got it's almost like a CrossFit style workout, just in the sense of how the sort of the reps are divvied up. Got to put my hand up and say that I was a bit of a CrossFitter, well, only very sort of socially and amateurly a few years ago. There are quite a lot of good bits, I think, with CrossFit, but also some maybe dangerous bits as well, when they get people that don't have much experience lifting weights and other sort of CrossFit-y stuff to do loads of CrossFit-y lifting weights fast and this and that fast, competing against other people. I think is a bit of a recipe for disaster, but there's a lot of good in it as well. So with it, we've got 9 to 1 squats with 3 burpees. So how that looks, round 1, you'll do 9 squats. These can be, again, on the chair or off the chair. So I do my 9 squats. So I've got 8 and 9, and then I've got 3 burpees. If we're going for full burpees, you start standing, hands go down, big step, body goes on the floor. You then come up, big step, big step. Remember, you can do small little steps as well rather than big ones if you want. So if you're getting that far up with steps a bit tricky, do a few, nice wide base, and then you're sort of falling into a squat and standing up. Or another option, going down to the floor, is just doing a half burpee to there. Or we can also use an elevated surface as well. So I put my hands on the chair, step, step, like so. You can bring your body to the chair, just be wary of tilting it too much, and maybe using like a sofa or a bed might be a better option if you're worried. So after the 9 squats, it will be 3 burpees, then you'll have 8 squats, 3 burpees, 7, 3, 6, 3, all the way until just having 1 squat and 3 burpees. Do what you can with it. If you want to try and finish it, go for it. If you want, you can record your time as well and post your time in the group. It'd be really cool to know. Or if you get halfway, just make a note of where you get to. again, share that information as well. It'll be really cool to know how far you got, and maybe in the future we can come back to it, try again and get you a bit further. That is the end of day 4. So at some point today, try and fit the workout in, adjust it if you need to. You don't have to do it exactly how it's written. Try and make it work for you. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm here to help. And I will see you tomorrow for day 5.